My name is Tina Jordan.
I'm Kevin Rendino.
I am a trustee at Partners, and we're both good friends of Jim's. Jim Axelrod is an investigative journalist for CBS News. He's a longtime reporter. He has won countless awards, a Daytime Emmy, Peabody Award, which is it's like the Nobel Prize of investigative journalism. He's extremely accomplished and still finds the time to think about us, which speaks to who he is.
Jim is the most dependable, consistent person that I know.
He consistently shows up. He consistently thinks about Partners. He's just an intellectually curious guy who always wants to know how he can get the word out and how he can help.
He just makes you want to be the best version of yourself, and that is the truth. And everybody that knows Jim thinks that they're Jim's best friend. That's the aura of Jim. He makes everybody feel as if, you're my best buddy. In reality, I am. But a lot of other people think they are.
Thank you for all the work you've done for so many years. I could not think of a better person to be honoring tonight.
He's so deserving of this award for his commitment to the organization for so many years.
Congratulations.
It is an occupational hazard for me if I can't adequately describe and find the words for what I'm seeing and feeling. But you two have really left me speechless. So thank you. I love you both. Thank you for the years of deep and meaningful friendship. And I appreciate those words more than you know. Wow, we are really moved up from Mayfair Farms, I must say. And the place before that. 20 years, a long time. I remember Stina and I went years ago to the other place. We got hammered. And Stina spent so much money on this painting. And I don't want to describe the painting, the artist may be in the room, but just let's say our house burned to the ground in 2013, and I'm standing in the driveway, I'm watching my house go to the ground, and the only thought over my head was, I don't have to deal with that painting anymore. So look, this is one of the best nights of the year, every year, for Stina and myself. Our mornings start like I'm sure a lot of your mornings start. One of us is scrolling through the phone, yelling, oh my God, what is happening in the world? And I will say that so much of what goes on in the world leaves us so frustrated and feeling so powerless to do anything. But then every year we come to this room on this night with this group of people, and we are reminded, no, actually, we can do something. We can all do something. Each year we watch so many people committed to doing something. People spurred to action, and we're seeing it all over again tonight. Victims of domestic violence, Esther, I can't say it enough, who summoned the kind of courage that I couldn't imagine having. And they share their story. Each year, we sit in awe as they illuminate a trauma that unfolds in too many homes, too many days and nights, in the shadows. And people like Esther shine a light so we all see it. And we can all try to do something about it. For your bravery and your courage, Esther, I want to salute you again and everybody who's ever told their story. We're seeing the dedicated staff of Partners doing something. We're seeing the lawyers who donate their time, they're doing something. We're seeing all those dedicated to raising the resources required to protect the most vulnerable, doing something. I've said it before, when I worked in Washington, there used to be this story Everybody used to say the most dangerous place on the Eastern Seaboard was standing between Chuck Schumer and a TV camera. And I remember I'd hear that, and I'd be like, no. The most dangerous place on the Eastern Seaboard is standing between Shoshana Schiff and somebody who wants to make a donation. There is just something so moving about watching folks with resources, different kinds of resources. Could be legal skills, could be money, could be voices, or just the simple inability to sit by and watch people get physically and emotionally abused without doing something. There is something so deeply moving to me. It has been since the first benefit that we came to. Because when Tina Jordan tells me to do something, the proper answer is yes. And when we came, we have been moved ever since, because there is something so moving about seeing everybody come together, gathering up all of those resources, and saying to those people who are at the most vulnerable moments of their lives, we got you. I'm just filled with admiration at the work that everybody in this room does. And to be able to be such a small part of that effort over the years has been such an effective way to counter those feelings of powerlessness that too often greet my day. So thank you. Thank you to everybody who gives. I just got a couple more thank yous and I'll get out of here. I am filled with gratitude. Looking around this room, it is really humbling. So many important people here. Family, friends, Hillary, Millie, Val, Lucy, Jimmy Morinda, otherwise known as Freddie Morinda's husband. Please tell Freddie we were really sorry she couldn't make it. The people at this table right here, wonderful people. Rod, SP, Biggs, Doc, Glenn, they're wonderful partners and wives, Effie and Bobby and Melissa and Kyle and Stephanie. I will tell you, I don't know who it is, but one of these guys is making book on whether or not I'm gonna cry. Somebody's gonna lose a lot of money. Actually, I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I haven't gotten to my family yet, so it's touch and go. Thank you for your friendship. You're all life enhancers. And I really appreciate you being here. I don't know who's losing money, but I love you all. My 3 kids are not here tonight. And I'd like to offer up a word of advice to parents who still have your children at home. You know that advance confidently in the direction of your dreams horse shit? They may advance confidently to the other side of the country. I miss Emma. I miss Emma so much tonight. Bobby gets a pass. He's where he should be. Bobby always gets a pass, but he is where he should be. He's at college. Actually, they're all where they should be. But I'm thinking of them with gratitude. They've done a really nice job raising me. I want to thank my brother and sister-in-law, Peter Axelrod, Leah Walchuk. Amazing people. They're both absolute bedrock of my life. My brother is my model when it comes to how to live a life with integrity. He's also the ultimate 3 o'clock in the morning guy. You guys all have your list, right? Who are you gonna call at 3 o'clock in the morning if you need something? My brother would be there before I put the phone back on the counter. Of course, he'd also be up at 3 in the morning. Those hours don't build themselves. My mother, that beautiful 85-year-old woman, continues to blow me away. I grew up in a home where I was taught the meaning and value of empathy and connection and accident of birth, and always be aware. My father is not here. He hasn't been here for 23 years now. But I watched him as a kid, and he was the voice for the voiceless. And maybe that's what touches me so deeply about partners. I used to watch this guy walk into a courtroom ready to brawl for folks who'd had a bad break. Bob Axelrod was their voice. He lived for it. He would love what happens in this room. It's funny, I can tell who some of the longest serving members of our esteemed defense bar are, because as I say Bob Axelrod, I can still watch color drain from faces of certain defense lawyers. And 23 years later, it's very nice to see. I'll close my wife, Stina. I have learned so much in our 34 years together. Yes, she is the warmest and gentlest soul I've met in my 60 years on this planet. But it's more than that. Stina is also someone who's always had a much clearer sense than I have of this is how we live. All those years that I was laser focused on how to make a living, Stina was focused on how to make a life. I love you very much, Stina. So in closing with a quote, I'm standing in line at my college graduation 22 years ago. It's 49 years ago. And somebody hands me a piece of paper. They put it in my palm, all folded up. And after the ceremony, I get home and I unfold it. And it just says, W.H. Auden, we must love one another or perish. So it's been my guiding principle for 38 years. We must love one another or perish. Now, I don't want to be that guy and be so presumptuous as to try to improve on W.H. Auden. But it strikes me that if he wanted to add, protect, serve, and seek justice for, we must love, protect, serve, and seek justice for one another. Strikes me you got a pretty good motto for this wonderful organization and for what happens here every year. Thank you for your support of partners, and thank you for this honor.